So firstly, we are going to start by making sure the surface of the sole is well roughened. So after that, we apply our gum all over the sole because we are going to wrap it up with a leather. So this is the leather we are going to use to wrap the sole up. So we are going to also apply gum on the leather. So after the gum must have dried, you gently place the sole at the center of the leather and then you press here. Use your rag to begin to get the shape of the sole. You can see how I'm pressing the leather into the sole to get the shape. So you do that continuously till you get the shape of the sole completely. So you have to watch closely to see how I'm going to fold the leather over the sole. You have to be careful to avoid too much creeps on the edges of the sole after folding. So firstly, I'm going to fold here down and then I press it on the floor or on the table so that I can be able to work on this part of it. So as I'm stretching the leather, I'm using my thumb to make sure that the leather is lying flat on the edges of the sole. So I'm going to do that continuously around the curve. So as I'm pulling the leather, I am using my thumb to press it to lie flat on the edge of the sole. So you pull the leather, and then you press with your thumb and make sure you avoid creeps. So we are done with the back. You turn over to the front also and also do the same. Like I said before, it is very tactical. You have to be careful. You have to take your time. So just take your time in making sure the leather is lying flat on the edges of the sole. So after that, you cut the folding allowance to its minimum. You cut the folding allowance to its minimum, that is round the insole. After that, you apply gum around the surface of the insole once more. There is gum already on the leather, so you just apply gum on the surface of the insole. So when the gum must have dried, you also work with your thumb. As you pull the leather, you press with your thumb. So after that, you use your razor blade to remove the crisps on the surface of the insole. Now for our pattern, we are going to measure 3-inch width, the length 12-inch. The width is 3-inch, the length is 12-inch. That is going to be the dimension of our pattern. So these are the leathers we're going to use to trim the edges of our pattern. The length is 12-inch, the width is 1 inch. So we're going to place it this way on our pattern, and then we're going to stitch and then fold. So we have finished stitching. You can see this is facing the pattern, and then we stitched along this line, and you can see how we placed it, and we sew along the line from the back of the pattern, and then we are going to cut this off. So now we are going to apply gum on the surface to enable us to do the folding. So watch closely to see how I'm holding the pattern and how I am folding the leather over. very important. Watch me closely. So you can see what we have. We have a uniform folding. So the next thing now, we are going to attach our landing. So we apply gum on the two surfaces. So we have, you can see our stitching line. We are done with the stitching. So we're going to cut off the excess landing. So I'm trying to separate the landing at this edge here from the main pattern so that the scissors can move freely along the rail. So after doing that, you hold your pattern this way, place your scissors this way, and then you cut along the line. It will help you to have a very neat cut edges. So you can see what we have. So we are done with crafting the pattern now. We are moving over to the next step. So now you pin your insole to your last. You know the width of this sole is very big. So I'm going to pin it at the front with a nail. And then I'm going to use a rubber band at the back. That is how I do my own lasting with this kind of sole. You can use a nail, but you have to find a very long nail. So, but if you don't mind, you can use a rubber band. 2 or 3 is okay. Then you place your pattern like this, and then you mark out where it ended on your insole. It will help you to know exactly where you're going to apply your gum. So I'm going to remove some of it. So we have gotten the line and the part where we have to apply our gum. So we apply our gum on the pattern and also on the insole for the lasting. So this is Mako 2 millimeters. You cut it to this shape. You apply gum on it and then on the insole, and you paste it at exactly the same point where I am pasting mine. It will help the bonding, and also it will help the pattern not to pull anytime. You understand? So it will help the pattern not to pull, and also it will help the bonding. So make sure you roughen your main sole. Make sure you roughen it very well. take your time and do the roughening. Make sure the round the rail and also the center, make sure that you roughen every part of it. So this is my pressing machine. If you don't have something like this, you can just use your last and press the two soles together for proper bonding. So after that, we are going to gum the pattern to the side of the sole. Watch closely to see where I am applying the glue. This is a shoemaker's glue. You apply it to the sides. It will make the footwear to have a very nice shape and look. So you press with your finger. You do it on both sides of the two footwears. So after that, we are going to also use the super glue around the edges of the sole to help the bonding to last longer. So you press these two edges to make sure it bonds properly. As you are doing this, make sure you are very careful in order not to spill the spark glue where it's not necessary. So you have to be careful. Then you press these two edges together also. So once you are sure the super glue has dried, you use a cotton board to apply your dye around the edges, round the whole edges. Make sure you don't spill the dye where it's not necessary, so you have to be very careful. In a case where the sole is another color and not black, you simply use a neutral polish for this. Take note, a neutral polish if the sole is not black. So when the dye must have dried, you use your neutral polish to polish around the edges. It makes everything to become neat and well finished. What I'm having in my hand is a toothbrush. So you use a toothbrush, touch your neutral polish, and then you polish the edges. So you can see what we have here. We are done with this tutorial. Feel free to drop your questions if there is any in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you have not, and also hit the bell icon to get updates as soon as our next video drops. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day and see you in our next video.